For years, mobile gambling has been heavy on promises and light on returns. But now, for the first time, devices have caught up with tech-happy consumers' wants. Devices such as the Apple iPhone have placed the power of personal computing in customers' hands. And off the back of the smartphone boom, mobile operators have a new spring in their step.
The experience on the mobile devices is now so improved that a lot of people are using their mobile device as opposed to going online, and that's a real shift. So, for example, our customers at Betfair will happily use the mobile over the PC, and that's great. And new generation of customers who are very tech savvy. They use the devices for other e-commerce products, and this is now their connected internet device they carry around with them. So the notion of having to use a PC for betting is slowly being eradicated.
I think that the last year mobile has finally delivered on its promise. I think we now have as I was discussing earlier, that the handcuffs that we had on from previous devices and operating systems have very much been taken off, and we can provide the kind of user experience that we always wanted to provide on mobile. So it has delivered. The devices that are out there today are delivering now what they're promising, and that will only improve.
Technology is finally delivering for mobile gambling, but at the same time, it is forcing operators to work with the US tech giants such as Google and Apple, and this is a relationship where gambling operators are largely flying blind.
They're unusual relationships in that when you're dealing with the Apples and the Googles for distribution of your product to your app through their app store, it's hard to call it a relationship. It's a bit of a black box. It's like a door with a letterbox. You have your product ready to go. You put it through the letterbox. They pick it on the other side. You don't really get to see what happens until it's live in the app store. And there's no formal communications or feedback until such point as you're indicated that your product is ready to go live.
The betting and gaming regulators have mobile covered because it is an extension of the internet. But are there more hoops for an operator to jump through? Clearly there are, because there are more gatekeepers. Google and Apple make the rules. Those rules are subject to change at any given moment. I think the lesson that some operators have learned is give it a good shot, and you might be pleasantly surprised, you might not. Interestingly, Sporting Index, we don't have an app per se. We have an optimized mobile internet site that looks and behaves like an app. And one of the advantages of that is we're not subject necessarily to the gatekeeping that might go on if we were to try and go down the app route. And that's an interesting question from an operator's perspective as to whether to app or not to app.
I don't think the network providers are really playing a role in mobile gambling anymore. We're just literally using them as an ISP, to deliver strong networks to our customers. In terms of the browser-based products, yes, they're much easier for people to discover. You don't have to go through an app store. So I think my view is that that's really the future of mobile gaming, will be browser-based products on mobiles.
Mobile gambling has clearly started to deliver on its promises, but the future is certainly no clearer than it was 12 months ago. And by the time next year's ICE comes around, the scene could be very different again.